Welcome back to the Fall Major Expert Division Weekend Round, hole number 8. Here we're setting up for a sniper bounce-up shot using either a Kingslayer or a Kingmaker. I definitely recommend using Wind 4 here if you had for the best opportunity at the drop. However, you can play this with either ball. The adjustment for the drive is P3 plus 10% max. We're using 5.8 top spin, 3 left spin. What we're doing is with spin added, we're going to place a ring up against the rough here, a red ring against the rough, and we're going to have the ball guide going through the center of the little red bush on the left, and I'll show you what I mean. So this is our spin here, which is APOC 4 and 5 friendly. So it is, again, 5.8 top spin, 3 left spin. And after we got our spin added, we're going to have the red ring touching the rough on the top with the ball guide going through the little red bush on the left. As soon as I get there. That's what we want it to look like. This is the bush I'm talking about. And the reason we want to go through that little bush is because there's a couple of glitchy spots in this patch of rough here. Thanks, Playdemic. There's a glitchy spot over in this area, and then there's another one over here. So to give us our widest range of glitch free zone, which is about there, we want to set up on the left side of it, because with the wind push, we're going to ended up going through either right around center here or maybe just right of center. So we want to avoid the glitchy spot over here, and we want to avoid the glitchy spot over here. But this is what it should look like after you have spins added. APOC 5 and 6, you'll have 1/3 of the red ring in the rough with the ball guy going through the bush. APOC 7 is red ring touching with the ball guy going through the bush, and then APOC 8 is 2/3 of the blue ring in the rough on the top. Basically what I'm set up here. This is basically the APOC 8 setup. So you'll have 2/3 of the blue ring in the rough on the top with the ball guy going through the bush. This gives us our best opportunity at a consistent rollout. With that being said, there are some glitchy spots here. You can, with some grates, or if you catch some sort of unfortunate bounce that we didn't get, it is possible that you kind of get stuck in this rough over here. If you do, it's still an easy eagle. If you have Nirvana or off-roader, you can, bounce it on up to the green or very close to the green for either a putt or a short inbringer shot, worst case scenario. But this does give us the best opportunity using a power 3 ball, which is why we're set up here. So adjust P3 plus 10% max, and then no curl. We're going to play just before circle drop over power. So pull down until your circle drops, then pull it back up just until the circle clicks back up. You see that I'm going right through the center of that red bush. And so that gives me the most room on the right and the left to avoid the glitchy spot, which is the idea. Should end up right around 340-ish on the drive. For the approach shot, we're playing this one at P3 plus 35% at slider. And we're using the plus yards that the shot opens up at to determine our slider value. So as soon as your shot opens up, you're going to have your sniper equipped, and you're going to be in, it's going to show you a plus yard value, right? And that plus yard value changes depending on, where you're at with your drive. So that number is going to correlate directly to our slider value. As you see here, I'm opening up at the +5. The +5 is 46% slider. 6 is 49, 7 is 51, 8 is 54, 9 is 57, 10 is 60, 11 is 63, 12 is 66. +4 is 43, 3 is 41, 2 is 38, 1 is 35, and the plus, well, it's not going to show you if you're at the 0, but that would be 32. You should always be in between the +4 and the +8. From there, what I'm going to do is set my white ring, the bottom of my white ring touching the rough, and I'm going to have it centered on the fairway left and right, right? So the distance here and here is roughly the same. And then I want the white ring touching the rough line here on the bottom. What happens with this one, because there's so much change in this fairway here, it's kind of bumpy and hilly, and it goes up. So if you was to, we try using set spins, but what happens is sometimes you first bounce lands here, sometimes it lands here, sometimes it lands here, and those all play differently because this fairway pad slopes upwards. It also slopes upwards this way. And so every spot you land requires a different adjustment or tweak. And that is why we are setting up this way, so we can set up in the same spot every time, right here. And that way we get consistent bounce, and we can start to try and tweak and dial in this shot. So you want to set up your white ring, touching the bottom, centered on the fairway, and then add spins until the ball guide is short of the hole by about a square. And you want it to be aimed at the left edge of the cup. And that's for winds in the 6s. If you have winds in the 7s, you want to aim just outside the left edge of the cup. And if you have winds in the 8s, you want to aim about a cup left of the hole. Now, here's what I'll tell you. Here, I'm actually, if you see this, I'm aiming right at the center of the cup, but I'm only about a cup short. And I'm going to come in hot. But that's why I've changed the offset a little bit, so that you want to be about a square short with the tip of your ball guide. And then if you leave it short, you see how the ball guide starts to curl around to the right. What happens is, because you're coming in at a slower speed, this one comes in hot, so it goes right in the hole. But if you leave it short, you start to come in a little bit slower, and then the ball guide starts taking that curve a little bit more to the right. And if you don't offset it left at the correct speed, you're going to miss it just to the right. So this is all there for a reason. So just leave it short. If you have winds in the 6s, you want to aim at the left edge. Winds in the 7s, you want to aim just outside the left edge. And then winds in the 8s, you want to be about a cup to the left. All right? Besides that, you want to pull this one straight. There's no overpower, no curl. The adjustment P3 plus 35. Add slider, pull straight, center your ball, Do your best to hit perfect, and hopefully you're walking away from this one with the albatross. It is a little finicky, this hole, so it's not necessarily an easy drop. But if you can practice this one a few times and work on these setups in this specific way, I believe it's going to give you the best opportunity at a drop here. So throw a couple practice tokens at this one. This albatross can mean the difference between, winning a tournament and losing a tournament. So good luck. I hope you all get the drop, and we'll see you on hole number 9.